another episode. We're back with another episode of It Says. And how are you guys doing? I hope you guys had an amazing last week, and you're definitely going to have an amazing this week. So, yeah. How was my week? My week was very, very, very chill. I didn't do anything unique. I didn't do nothing crazy. I didn't do nothing unique. Dead ass this time. Because you know how I be like, I think I'm forgetting something, but I'm dead ass. I think the most that happened was my brother came over this weekend just to come visit. And we played Uno. He played with a drone. We have a drone in this house now. I don't know if you guys know what a drone is, if any of you ever owned a drone, but child, that thing is fun. It's really fun. Really, I want my husband, he has his own drone. Well, his drone, I use it, I play with it sometimes. Cause it's like a toy. Like a drone is like a toy, but you might see a lot of YouTubers and influencers use drones. Like when they go on vacation, they can see the landscape. That's what I love the drone for. But our drone's camera quality isn't really that good. So, but it's good to get a drone that's kind of like cheap at first, because you need to learn how to fly it, because you're going to crash it a lot. And if you crash it, you might break it. We haven't broke it yet, thank God. He uses it more than I do, or whatever the case may be. He uses it way more than I do. He crashes it way more than I do. It done got caught up in the goddamn, we call it the forest. It's not a forest. It's like an empty lot, but like in the summertime, like mad grass and weeds grow high up. So it got caught in there. He flew it over here where they doing construction before, child. He did that the other day. That happened this week, bitch. It was a big ass thunderstorm, and when the thunderstorm hit, it fucking shook the drone. Child, I can't be so fucking bothered. But I love the drone. Like, I hope one day that I could get like a really expensive one with really good camera quality. And I don't know what I would use it for, because I mean, all I do is post podcasts. But I would definitely I'm big on just like taking pictures and seeing landscapes and stuff. So even if I don't put it on the internet, if I have footage like that on a drive or something, or I could see it for myself, I would be mad happy. So that's just me, or whatever the case may be. So I guess that was an earful for me to talk about, or whatever the case may be. What else? Over the week as well, I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know if it was a thunderstorm. Was it a thunderstorm? I think because of Hurricane Elsa. It's mad funny because my mom's name is Elsa. But I don't know if it's because of Hurricane Elsa, but New York had a big thunderstorm. You guys probably seen it on, the internet, on social media. Some of the trains was flooding. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. It was weird because, all right, it's one thing to see like maybe Staten Island flood, Queens, Long Island, where there's predominant water. Not even Queens in its totality, like maybe Far Rockaway. Areas where there's predominantly water. I mean, there's water all over New York City, but it's just some areas that just hit different. So for the Bronx has been through a lot this week. The Bronx also has some power outages, but that's a different conversation, because that shit, they be doing shit on purpose to give energy to other cities and stuff like that. So they probably did that shit on purpose, turned off their electricity. But as it pertains to flooding, that shit was insane. Like this train, like it's one thing for it to flood, but it was like up high, and then the water was so dirty, bitch. I know New York City dirty. Oh my god, the water was black and gray. I was like, if this shit got a deep clean, y'all ever like? I'm like weird. I dabble into clean top. I like get satisfaction out of seeing like all the products mixed together. The sponge gets soapy. I get a satisfaction out of seeing people clean stuff. I don't know, it's weird. But one of the newest, hottest trends that I love watching is watching people clean pools. So pools get really, really dirty, I guess, when you don't maintain it. Not only not maintain, well, not maintenance, and just over, you know, the course of the seasons after summer, sometimes, you know, pools get dirty. So I was just giving me the idea of power washing. I don't know if you guys know what power washing, but it's like when you use water like it's like a water hose, but it's powerful, so it will just knock dirt out. That's what it was giving me. Like when I saw the flooding in New York City, it was just giving me when people just like power wash New York City, like the Bronx got a fucking power wash, like type shit. Like it was just knocking all the fucking dirt off the street. But yeah, that was crazy. That flooding shit, like I remember seeing it come down. Obviously, well, not obviously, because at this point, anything could fucking happen. But I wasn't impacted by it where I live. But seeing the Bronx get hit like that, like the Bronx, like, I know they got rivers like Bronx River, River Park Towers. I forgot what river that is by River Park Towers. There's water over there. Dykeman, there's definitely water over there. If any of you ever been to Dykeman, back when La Marina was that girl. I wonder if La Marina is still even around today. But yeah, there's definitely mad water over there, and they got impacted by it. I heard 149th. I don't even know if it's water over there on 149th. I saw 138th Street. It was just crazy. Like, it was literally fucking crazy. Like, why? How did that happen? A lot of strange shit has been happening. Because remember the shit happened with Houston. And Houston with the snowstorm shit. Houston don't never get no motherfucking snow like that. New York City don't never flood. Y'all motherfuckers better stay woke. Like, y'all real life better stay fucking woke. Because I was just telling my cousin too, like, when I saw the people getting on the train in that dirty ass water, like walking through that dirty ass water, I was just thinking like, my nigga, I would have had to take a Uber. Like, I literally would have had to take an Uber home because, like, I'm not walking through no dirty water. Like, I would have had to take a cab, something home. But then I was thinking sometimes you don't have cab money. You don't have cab fare. You don't. Some people really don't have money to get in a cab, especially from where they at. Like, some people work all the way in the Bronx, but they live all the way in Brooklyn. Or they work all the way in the Bronx, they live all the way in Queens. If you're going from borough to borough, especially with the price surge with Ubers, taxis, everything, and we're going to talk about that today, which is crazy. But anyway, if you think about all the price surges, you might be having to pay $100 just to get home. Like, for real, like, you really might have to pay that much money just to get home. And some people don't have $100 and they got to get on the motherfucking train. And I was just saying, like, yo, like, at least for me, I need to start saying, yes, I have a car, but even some bridges got flooded. I don't know what bridge it was, but I heard it was also in the Bronx. That bridge got flooded. I don't know if y'all seen that footage, but even though I have a car, I feel like anything can happen and you just need money. Like, at any point, you might need to fly somewhere, you might need to go somewhere, and you're gonna need money. Like, you're gonna always need money. So I was like, yo, I need to start saving. After that shit with the flooding, and I think just COVID in general taught us that we need to save. I spoke about that. You know, it's not easy, you know, saving money. I know. It's like the bills. It's just hard to not be able to save money. So, I don't know. It was just crazy. I just couldn't. It was just the color of the water for me. It'd be one thing if it was flooded and then the water was clear, some shit. I understand that the world is dirty. People walk on the floor, but it was just, and it's just weird. New York City, did Manhattan flood? Because y'all ever seen a joke? I love TikTok. We gonna talk about TikTok today too. That's hilarious. Everything just coincides. But y'all ever seen a TikTok when people write, when you realize Manhattan is an island, and they be like, I'm an island girl. Because, you know, that shit is on some water too. Or a lot of this shit is on water. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I hadn't seen any footage of Manhattan getting flooded, so I don't know. But that shit is strange behavior, y'all. Y'all better stay the fuck woke. People laughing. I don't know. It's global warming. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But there's definitely a shift happening with just the climate, I don't know. Just the weather. It's something happening, and it's happening before our eyes. You know what I'm saying? So, look, just stay the fuck woke, bitch. That's all I'm trying to say. Stay the fuck woke. And yeah. So that was one of the topics I wanted to talk about today was the New York City flooding. So I already got that out the way. And what's been going on in the scuttlebutt of it all? And the first thing I want to talk about is Drake Dodger's dinner date with Johanna Leah, I think her name is, or whatever. She's like the mother of, I'm sorry, I don't know the son name, child. Y'all can't have asked me for so fucking much, bitch. But my thing was, Drake is a fucking treach. I don't know if y'all know what a treach is. In New York City, they call a treach is like a thought. He is a hoe. Look, if we gonna call fucking girls hoes, because they be dipping, dabbling, doobling, and babbling, bitch, I'm gonna say it about Drake. Drake, he give me big fuck boy energy. Like, he just gives me big, humongous fuck boy energy. Like, for real. Like, I don't know, he just be irking my fucking nerves. Like, when I saw him on a date, I don't know why it got me mad. Like, Brittany, this man don't got no girlfriend. He's not attached to nobody. He's not married. But it's just that he gives me fuck boy energy. Like, something about him just triggers my spirit. Like, that type of thing. Like, he gives me big fuck boy energy, or whatever the case may be. So I was just a little bit annoyed seeing him on a date, because he just always doing fucking something like, bitch, go sit the fuck down. But you know, Drake is one of the biggest artists right now. Like, is he still considered the biggest artist, or is it like Little Baby, the Baby Meg Thee Stallion? I don't know, but I still consider Drake really, really big. Like, if people still put out a song today, people are gonna bop to it. If people start a mixtape today, people are gonna bop to it. People are gonna buy it. People are gonna stream it. Whatever they want to do, they're gonna go. If he throws a tour today, he's gonna sell out his tour. So, you know, Drake is really a big artist. A really big artist. So he can still get the woman that he desires. I wonder how old Drake is. I mean, men could be single as long as they want, child, and don't nobody give a fuck. I'm about to Google how old is Drake, because he is just giving me big thought energy, bitch. Big thought energy. Yeah, so people are just shaking their tails that Drake is on a date. It just annoys me because he's linked to so many people in the industry. Oh, he's only 34. How y'all feel about that? 34, when's his birthday? October 24th. Yeah, so he's gonna be 35 in a while. Like, it'll be a while from now. Is he a Scorp? Is Drake a Scorpion? A Scorpion? A Scorpio? Because his albums, I think he is. Drake sign. Oh my God, if Drake is a Scorpio, Drake's astrological sign, because he got a song called Sign. He probably got a song for every fucking word in the damn dictionary, Drake. Yup, he a Scorpio. Oh my God. I love that he's a Scorpio. I love that. But I don't, and I do, because he's a big fuck boy, like, romantically. I feel like he's very romantic, but he just can't keep a girl. I wonder why Drake can't keep a girl. I feel like, I don't know, everything is opinion. I feel like he be dropping the girls. Like, he always sees some flaw in some girl, I think. But he also seems problematic as well, because, you know, he might be annoying. Something about him, bitch. Why he can't keep a girl? Because I'm thinking in my head, too, the reason why I'm saying I'm thinking he might be dropping them, but I feel like it takes two for a situation to even be done, period. It's both parties that allows for a situation to be done. But I feel like with Drake, at least, like, he's never even been fully linked to somebody. When I say fully linked, I mean, like, been with a woman for so long, like, in a relationship. Like, you know how, like, J-Lo and the last man she was dating, A-Rod, we knew they were dating. We know Nicki Minaj was dating Meek Mills. Like, he's never even been linked to somebody that he was dating for years. Or Chris Brown was dating Karrueche. Like, we knew he was dating somebody, but it's never been a long-term relationship that we know of, because it's everything we don't know. You know what I'm saying? He might be really good at being private. Scorpios are very private people, so he might be a very private person. He might have been in a long-term relationship with a woman that we have no knowledge of. And I mean long-term, where he wasn't cheating and shit, where he was just dedicated to this one girl, or even proposed to somebody, was engaged to somebody, bitch. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. But, I'm saying it might be him breaking it off, because I feel like Drake is the type of guy that a girl might get with, And she might feel like, okay, this nigga annoying, but I'm going to stick beside him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's mine. I'm going to stick beside him because he just got so much money. He has so much influence that I feel like he could, at minimum, meet one girl who going to put up with his bullshit. Like, maybe not even one, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 bitches that'll just put up with his nonsense because he's so rich, so affluent. So it's just like weird that that we know of, because I know some of y'all like, how you know Drake never settles down? I don't fucking know, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Everybody's titties is tied up, bitch, because Drake went on a date. He cleared the whole Dodgers stadium for her. And when you say to Drake, I could just imagine how hard it is to date somebody else after that. Because, like, after somebody takes me on a date, closes out a stadium for me, and gives me a private dinner, what the fuck you think? Like, my expectations gonna always be high, bitch. Like, big high. Like, it's gonna be like everything, little things is like, this is a regular date, or we're doing a dinner date, and the dinner date might be at Noble, bitch. And I'm just like, oh, we're going to Noble. Okay. Like, everything would just be simple shit to me. Like, the nicest restaurant would give me Olive Garden, would give me Applebee's. Like, I don't know. But shout out to Drake. We don't fucking know. We will motherfucking see. Child. Who motherfucking knows? Who fucking knows? Next up is the Wendy Williams drama where she, where she was, what's the word, insensitive to someone's death, a young boy's death. And I'm going to give y'all my little theory. And I'm not defending. Let's be motherfuckers here. I don't play when it comes to grief and death and all that shit. So, for those of you who may or may not know, on Wendy Williams' show, she was talking about a TikToker that passed away named Wavy or Swavy. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Rest in peace to that young boy. He wasn't somebody I followed on TikTok or ever seen on my For You page, but he was a young man. He passed away. He had 2.5 million followers on TikTok when he passed. To my understanding, what the streets are saying, the TikTok streets are saying, was that somebody shot him because he was a brand ambassador for a brand that the shooter didn't like. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not sure, but they're also saying he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Either way, he passed away. It's not our business to know why. Maybe we'll find out later, but rest in peace to him. It hurt. It appears to have hurt a lot of people in the TikTok community. And he was just young, young. And it's just unfortunate. So, when this topic was brought up on Wendy Williams' show, the first thing she said was, okay, do you guys know who Swavy is? Young Swavy? Anyone knows him? And then the audience was just like, crickets, or whatever the case may be. She was like, okay, well, supposedly he died. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, ooh, okay. Like, she was like, he has 2.5 million followers on TikTok. More followers than me. And then he was, I forgot his name, was getting me tight. Her little, kind of co-host was like, well, you have more followers than him on Instagram, just talk about his followers first. He was like, yeah, he got shot, he died. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? But let me tell y'all my theory. She's wrong, very wrong, But my theory is that the Wendy Williams show is not doing good. That's what I've been hearing through the streets. That's what the gossipers say it. The teens say it. And also, even me, I don't watch the Wendy Williams show as much as I used to. Honestly, when she had that huge downfall, when she was, really sick, and then she had, everybody doing her show for her, I couldn't watch it no more. And then I think that I just... After a while, when you stop watching something, you kind of just stop caring about it. You just stop giving a fuck. You just don't give a fuck no more. So I think that's what happened with me. Was she was gone for so long that I just kind of fell off of it. And that's why it's so important, you know. That's why a lot of these celebrities, they come to work every day. They're constantly pushing out music. They're constantly staying relevant. YouTube, you can't miss a fucking week. And if you miss a month or 2 weeks, you could lose your momentum that fucking fast. So it's just crazy. So I guess that's what happened with me. But I still, you know, like I occasionally jibble dabble into hot topics. But anyway, moving on. I think what happened was, because her ratings is like not really giving what it used to give, I think that if she worked for Viacom, I don't know if the show's on Fox, whatever channel she's on, they was like, look, you need to rebuild your audience and you need to get a new clientele. And one of those people you need to get is Gen Z. Because a lot of people are doing that. And a lot of y'all may not even notice that, but a lot of things that millennials used to care about, because her audience is like millennials, a little bit of the baby boomers, older people love Wendy Williams. And so with us, a lot of shit is not really phasing us no more. Like, even me, I noticed like a lot of things that I used to care about that I don't care about as much as I like used to care about. Or, you know, just with the times, things fade. It's even celebrities that we don't give a fuck about. That artists that we just kind of like, we don't want to hear their music. We don't really care about what they got going on. Like, it's really given that. Or another thing too with millennials is like, we still might love an artist, but we don't give them the love that we used to. Right? Like, who's an artist I love? I can't say Beyonce because I'll give her all the love she needs. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, like a Drake maybe. Okay, Drake actually is a good example for me. Like Drake before, when he would come out with an album, I would just download it immediately, listen to the whole album, After Scorpion, no, whatever album was before Scorpion, I think it was the one, was it Views? After Views, I kind of was like, whatever song he puts out, I'll fuck with, because he always make a good song for the streets. But I'm not listening to his albums. I listened to the recent mixtape because it was only 4 songs on it, the one with the lemon pepper and all that shit, but for the most part, I don't give him the attention he used to get. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of millennials like that. Like, it's so much we can't keep up with on a day-to-day basis. Like, it's just too much. Breakfast Club. I love the Breakfast Club, but I cannot keep up with the Breakfast Club. Number one, I don't even wake up that early in the morning. Number two, even I don't watch the clips as much. Sometimes I used to watch the clips faithfully when I came from work. So millennials, I don't know what the shift is. I'm not really that educated on, you know, the psychological shift of just becoming an adult and being older and why we don't stay as focused as we used to. It could be COVID. I don't know what the fuck it is. But she can't keep the millennials in. She can't keep us in. She damn sure can keep the baby boomers in, bitch. Because the baby boomers barely know how to use a fucking computer, bitch. So it's just like, what a lot of people are doing, even artists, they're gravitating towards Gen Z because Gen Z is the next girl. Like, she's the next generation. They need that clientele because eventually we won't be able to upkeep, right? It's just like baby boomers. They really, some of them still pay their bills with the mail, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to use the internet, but the internet is the new wave, right? Streaming is the new wave. A lot of them still don't stream. They're just still learning how to use their smart TVs and Rokus and Chromecasts. They've learned it, but it's still new. A lot of baby boomers, I rarely see a baby boomer on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Watching clips. If they miss the show, they just miss the fucking show. That's just what it is for them. They're not looking at highlights. Like, we look at highlights, so you know what I'm saying? So basically what I'm trying to say is that I think that because her ratings are dying, it was like, look, you got to grab Gen Z. And it's true. You got to get who's the girl of the century. Like, who's going to promote you? Who's going to advocate you? So I think somebody was like, look, you need to get the Gen Z audience. That's the new audience. They're of the generation right now. They are relevant. Their opinion is what we care about. They are the new consumer. They are. They're the most relevant consumer. Before it was millennials. Now we wash the fuck up. Now it's Gen Z. They are the consumer you should be caring about. You always care about the top generation. That's who you should always care about. And so, what does Gen Z love? TikTok. So they told her probably like, look, bitch, you gonna have to talk about TikToker that died. Is the girls are screaming on TikTok about the TikToker that passed away, and you need to talk about it. And she was probably like, because she's old, she's outdated, like, my audience doesn't want to hear about Wavy. Who is Wavy? Like, she probably got an attitude that they told her to talk about the TikToker that passed away because she doesn't want to talk about TikTok. This is all a theory. This is all in my head. I think somebody told her, like, this is a hot topic. You need to talk about it. She's like, I'm not talking about no TikToker. I don't give a fuck about TikTokers. We're not talking about Wavy. I don't know who Wavy is. Who is Wavy? Like, I could see her just getting mad that she had to talk about a TikToker that passed away. And her audience deadass didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was, but I learned about it, but I didn't follow him on TikTok. TikTok has an array of topics for you to look at. They have millennial TikTok. Like I told you, they have clean top. So that's not something that he's not somebody I think would pop up on my For You page because that's not what I look for per se. That's not what I find funny. I didn't see him, you know what I'm saying? So her audience doesn't know Wavy. But what I think they were trying to do is get the Gen Z audience to come to her show. And as they should, because like I said, they're of the new generation. You need that generation. You got the baby boomers, you got the millennials, but some of the millennials is like, some of the baby boomers is like, so now you gotta get the Gen Z. You gotta get 3 generations so your ratings could go back up. But she's like, I'm not talking about Wavy. Who's Wavy? And I think she was so mad she had to talk about it. So she decided to be a smart ass on her show. And she was like, do you guys know who Wavy is? Wavy from TikTok. Like, it gave me like, nobody knows who he is. Why the fuck are we talking about this? And it's like, if you didn't want to talk about it, you should have never talked about it, even if they pushed you to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody that passed. It's one thing to talk about TikTok beef if people were beefing, but don't talk about a death that you don't feel comfortable talking about, because that shit is going to come off horrific. It's going to look really bad because you're upset about something, but people don't give a fuck about what you're upset about. They care about the fact that you're talking about somebody that just passed away. And you're being really insensitive. So, look. She did what the fuck she did. It was terrible. I personally, I'm going to be honest, I think Wendy Williams should hang up the show. You see Ellen is hanging up her show. Oprah has hung up her show years ago. But I'm just saying, sometimes shit gets hung the fuck up. And it's okay. It's okay. You know, Wendy has been on TV for a long time. She has put in her work. I think she is drained. Her health is drained, bitch. She is stressed out. She needs to heal. She dealt with a divorce and she took only a month off, you know. She took a month off, but I think when she took the month off, she was in a hospital. She was in rehab. She never really, I felt like, got the time to really heal. Like, she was sick and stuff like that. Like, she it's one thing to, and then while she was away, everybody was just throwing what she was trying to heal from in her face. Like, through the whole time she wasn't on the show, everybody was talking about her getting a divorce, the girl having the baby, the husband trying to take money from her. Like, she never got time to just step back away from it all. Yeah, maybe they took the TVs away from her. I don't know. But, you know, it's hard to run away from people trying to take pictures of her. Like, I think she should hang up the Wendy Williams show. I think she's stressed. I do think she's bitter. I think she's angry. I think she's had her time. She did what she can. She needs to go and be Wendy. She needs to live her life. She got all the money she can. If she wants to do stuff, you know, she can. Maybe she could start like a cute line of like candles or something. I don't know. Like, maybe a wig line. Like, I don't know. But I think she should hang up the Wendy Williams show. It's going to be sad to see, but I think it's much needed. I don't know who could be the predecessor. We barely can find a predecessor for Ellen. So I think it's just like a lot. And I think another reason why she might not want to hang up the show is because she's going to feel like it's because of Kevin Hunter. Like she doesn't want it to feel like it's the divorce is ruining my life. And it's not. It's just like, I think whether she divorced Kevin Hunter or not, her time would have come for her to hang up the Wendy Williams show. And that's okay. It's okay to, hang things the fuck up. It's okay to do that. It's always okay for you to, kind of just have to hang things up. There's nothing wrong with that. And I just hope that she sees that eventually, that, it's hard. It's not easy. I could imagine. I don't know full hand. But I do think it's time for the Wendy Williams show to go. And when she goes, she's I mean, I was going to say, her last couple of episodes, she been being really, really mean and bitter, but hey, it is what it is. We'll remember the good of the show. That's all we could try to do, is to remember the good. So, what's next on the agenda? Wendy was up in the tea last week, bitch. But last but not least, it's so much black girl magic happening. And I'm just loving it. Oh my gosh, the Zamia Avant-Garde. Is that really her last name? That's dope as fuck. Zamia is the girl who won the spelling bee. I forgot which spelling bee. And she's also really good with basketball. And I'm just it was when she did that fucking spin. That spin after she spells Maria. And everybody was saying, I would have been like, M-A-R-I-A. That would have been me too, bitch. I would have been like, M-A-R-I-A. And she even asked for what term is it? Is it Swedish, Latin term? Girl. I think her and her mother did do an interview, but I want to see an updated interview with just her mom. I want to see what type of girl she is. I think a lot, because I was going to say, sometimes it's not how you raise your kids. I think sometimes things are just naturally birth given sometimes in some ways. But I would love to hear, her mom or her dad just talk about, the type of kid she is, what they do in the household, how they raise her. Because she just seemed so happy, so different. For you to, know how to juggle, to be a world record of juggling the most balls, that's not random as fuck to me. And it's just it's given. For you to know how to spell, I know we know how to spell, but come on, everybody said they would spell Maria wrong. Come on now. I could just imagine her vocabulary at such a young age. She just seems so free spirit. That spin, it's the spin for me. Every time I think about it, I just kept watching it over and over again because she just looks so happy. So I just want to say shout outs to her. I can't wait to see some interviews of her. I really want to see what her upbringing is like. I really want to know, what do they do for her? I hope they don't lie, because you know how parents be lying. Next thing you know, the parents be crazy as fuck, bitch. They be fucking hitting her when they be trying to teach her how to spell and shit. I hope they keep it true, because how they be we just let her do what she wants, we're not on her lying and shit. No, keep it a buck. What the fuck y'all do in the household? Because I might have to do that with my kid when I decide to have kids again. You feel me? I just love it. I just adore it. I just adored it. That was one of my highlights of the week. And yeah. That is all for the topics today. And what will we be talking about today? You know what I decided to talk about? I decided to talk about returning to normal after COVID. Because things are going back to normal. But are they really? Are things really going back to normal after COVID? Everybody was seeking normalcy, right? And we spoke about normalcy already on the podcast, but we ain't talk about it. We talked about going back to normalcy, the anxiety of going back to normalcy. But we ain't talk about the reality of going back to normalcy. And there's a difference, people. We gonna really talk about numbers and statistics and things like that, because now the world is really going back to normal. The other day, I told y'all that I've been going back to the gym. I told y'all that last week. When I was going to the gym during COVID, we had to wear a mask. The lockers, we couldn't use them at Blink. When I went to Planet allowed us to use the lockers. And I was just bitch, it's fucking cold outside. Where the fuck am I supposed to put my jacket? Where am I supposed to put my stuff? And you telling me I can't use the locker. But anyway, moving on. But you had to wear your mask in the gym. You had to work out with a fucking mask on. And I barely could breathe. That was one of the reasons why I was like, I can't keep doing this gym shit. I'm trying. I did it. I lived it. I done it. It was cute and all. Started going back to the gym. Motherfuckers don't be wearing a mask in the gym. I'm like, okay. When I go to the laundromat, you have to have your mask on. Go to the laundromat. Motherfuckers don't be wearing a mask. I'm like, okay, so what's the given? It's just like, we're back. We're living. When I went to Sojo Spa Club, nobody was wearing their mask. And I'm like, okay, we know that only the vaccinated people cannot wear masks. But I heard, to my understanding, I heard that allegedly you're not supposed to ask people for their vaccination card because it's like, it's disrespecting one of the amendments. It's like you're basically asking for someone's medical records or something like that. So if somebody decides not to wear a mask, you can't ask them, hey, are you vaccinated? Like, and honestly, I don't think they pay motherfuckers enough in fucking Target and supermarkets and Social Spa Club and at Planet Fitness to be doing all of that. Let's be honest. Like, can I see your vac card? Like, I'm not doing that. Fuck out of here. Imagine me. Like, oh, can I see your vaccination card? Like, I'm not doing that. Nobody's doing that. Either way, bitch. Even if they allowed it, who's doing that? I don't know. Who knows? So, all of that to say, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about how people have been quitting their job because they don't want to go back to the office. They feel like it's silly. They did their job from home, remote, and they felt like they had a work-life balance. But they're trying to push people back into the offices slowly but surely. And so that's been a hot topic of discussion for people. You know, it's like, bitch, why y'all want me in the office when I could do my job from home? And we all already knew this shit was gonna fucking happen. Like, we already knew this was gonna happen. There's also a market of motherfuckers that I fuck with and I really want to be on that type of time, but I live in New York City and I don't really got it like that and I got bills and shit. But that's a market of motherfuckers that just not going back to work, period. Like, there's really, I hope y'all know that. There's a group of people who feel like they don't need to work. Why are we working? That is systematically disgusting, degrading, disrespectful, and they want to become entrepreneurs and they want to start their own business and they just feel like they can't work under motherfuckers. This has always been a thing. Before COVID, we knew that working under people was just a lot. Granted, yes, you're supposed to have social behaviors, and this is something that we grew up having to learn, right? People used to say, you have to learn how to be social. You have to learn how to engage, because how are you going to work in a job setting, right? This is why we do group projects in school and college, right? To teach us how to work in a team, work with people to prepare us for the work world. But now there's a market of people like, I just feel like you pushing me with strangers to work with motherfuckers to stress me out, and I'm not going back to work. And we'll talk about that. Because I feel like, okay, granted, I get the idea, but what's the game plan? Because all of us cannot be entrepreneurs. A lot of people say they feel like we shouldn't have to work. Why we working is slavery. I see somebody saying that, like, we should just get stipends. We shouldn't have to work. We should just be able to live our life free. And I was just thinking, like, what would it be like in a world of no work where we just got money? Like, the government just gave everybody money to live. I don't know, but that don't make sense. It wouldn't work because what luxuries would we have? What things would we have? How would we have movie theaters to get away? How would we have restaurants? How would we have the gym? Who's going to work at the gym? So y'all just working to work? Like, somebody has to work because we need amenities and things like that. Like, we need a life. Like, if you want to go to the park, somebody has to build that park for us. You get what I'm saying? Like, and you have to pay them for their labor. Maybe they feel like people should just do things for free. But you still working, though. Now you're working for free. I don't know. I mean, hey, we'll talk about that. So, it's the working It's to wear a mask, not to wear a mask. It's to get vaccinated, not to get vaccinated. I wrote down so many things. I couldn't believe it. Traveling is the new girl. And just the price surges of Ubers, Airbnbs, airplane prices, everything. So, that was an earful. But since we talked about, we're going to talk about price increases first, right? So, I have a few articles today, once again. So, before most topics, what do we like to do? Expand our minds. Expand your mind, expand your mind, expand your mind. And in an article on Google.com, the Pen, I don't think this is PennLive.com, sorry guys, on PennLive.com, titled Costs Are Rising for Everything Post-COVID-19. Should we be worried about price increases? Written by the Associated Press, that's all it says. So, in this article, it states, as the economy reopens, a surge in demand and widespread shortages are driving prices higher for residents in the Bay Area and beyond. It's the latest pain from the COVID-19 pandemic. A paycheck isn't going as far as it did before. From food to flights, Bay Area prices are up 3.8% from a year ago. Newly vaccinated people are spending, so we have a freedom-induced demand spurt. Producers have to catch up, said Mary C. Daly, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. The jump in prices is temporary, she asserted, and will not blossom into the long and damaging double-digit inflationary spiral of the 1970s. But it's a startling shift after prices for most goods had been holding nearly steady pre-pandemic and adds an additional burden on those already hard hit. In just 2 months, from February to April, prices jumped 1.7%. In its steepest jump in 13 years, the nation's Consumer Price Index, the measure of the average change in the prices paid by U.S. shoppers for consumer goods, rose 4.2% in April over the past year. The Bureau of Labor Statistics will release its May data on June 10th. Might have to look into that for you guys. The demand for product is super high. However, there's no supply. We're going to talk about that, said Chef Sammy Reyes of San Jose Scott's Seafood, which recently opened its doors after months of offering takeout and delivery. He's paying nearly $50 a pound for Australian lobster, up from $29 a pound. Bitch, that's $20 up. That's insane. In pre-pandemic times, filet mignon has jumped from $11 to $16 a pound for San Francisco's popular Epic Steak and Water Bar restaurants, according to Chef Park Ulrich, even as he struggles to find staff. Meat prices are going through the roof, said Ulrich. Fish prices, if it involves anything with shipping or air freight, they've gone through the roof as well. It's a sharp reversal from last spring when wholesale fish and shellfish prices fell 17.1%. Prices for meat. Wow. Dairy and eggs also plummeted. Businesses shuttered and layoffs created massive unemployment. All right, so let's talk about that. So the thing is, right, in the episode of Normalcy, we talked about just the anxiety of going back to normalcy. Now we're talking about the reality of it. So as you can see, prices are going up. Prices for food is going up. Restaurant prices are going up. Airline prices are going up. And I'm going to tell y'all some tea, bitch. Everything is just going up. But look at that. They said these surges haven't happened in 13 years. To me, for something to go from 19 to 30, that's a big increase. Y'all understand, 4.2 increase is really high increase in such a short time frame. So the thing is like, number one, people is just getting back to work. Some people are unemployed. I heard in New York City, the unemployment rate, I don't know if it was, they were saying globally or New York City. I wasn't sure because I was watching New York news. When I go to the gym, I'll be watching the news, bitch, which is mad annoying because I don't like the news, but I still get a little educated on stuff. So they said the employment rate went down 5.7%. I remember when it was at like 30-something%. Cool. But this is the thing. What type of jobs are people getting? Because the employment rate could go up in any circumstance, right? Meaning people who lost their jobs at a place like Macy's per se. Let's say you were a sales associate. Maybe they hired all those people back. Those are just sales associate gigs. You know what I'm saying? No shades of being a sales associate. I definitely was a sales associate. But don't make it seem like the employment rate is going up for people who are looking for a career. Like the actual careers. Because those jobs are really hard to find. People are taking pay decreases just to go back to work because that extra 300, that extra boost in unemployment will be gone on September 6th. So the thing is like, and they're trying to create jobs. There's not enough jobs out here. Number one, they said they're trying to create 850,000 jobs. Girl, I'll be watching the news. Biden said he's trying to create 850,000 jobs. I forgot by what time frame. I want to say, don't quote me, please, by the end of the year. So what happened is after the pandemic, people lost their jobs. People who are going back to work are taking lower pay rates. People who went back into their job position, I've been hearing a lot of shady shit. They've been cutting people's hours, but now they made a new law for restaurant workers. Child, they made a new law for restaurant workers where basically, if you cut someone's hours, you have to say specific. They said you can't cut anyone's hours without good reason, because you know how back in the day they used to cut your hours. If you ever worked in any retail, food, any of that, they would cut your hours just because you called out yesterday type shit. Motherfuckers will cut your hours just because you asked them to go on the register and they said fucking no. America said we're not dealing with it because we need motherfuckers to go back to work. They cannot be on unemployment because unemployment has changed. Back in the day, so this is a whole, like, it's given educational, it's given very pandemic-y because, you know, I'm on unemployment. I've been laid off. I already know what it is. So before unemployment, the way unemployment worked was if you made a certain amount of money for the week, then it was considered by day. So let's say you work this is how it works. If you work 3 days at your job, you had to put that you worked 3 days at your job, even if you made less than a certain amount of money. So the maximum benefit, if you make over $504 a week, you cannot file a claim for that week, right? But that's how it was before, right? So if you made $504 a week, you cannot file a claim for that week. You cannot get no unemployment for the week. Fine. But if you worked 4 days a week, you also couldn't file a claim for that week, right? But everybody doesn't make a lot of money in 4 days if you're working minimum wage, right? So let's say in 4 days, you made only $300 in your 4 days that you worked. You still cannot file a claim for that week, even though you didn't make $504 that week. So it was just very laxy, very confusing. So what a lot of people was doing was like, I'm only going to come to work for 1 day a week so I can get my unemployment money, because I'm going to get way more money from unemployment and working 1 day at my job than vice versa, you know, not getting none of the unemployment or whatever the case may be. So they changed it. They changed it to, did you work 0 to 4 hours this week? Then you get your full rate. If you work 4 to 8 hours a week, then you don't get your full rate. Like that type of thing. Like it goes based on how many hours you work that week, which is fair, because just because you work 4 days doesn't mean you made a lot of money in that week. Boom. Hope you guys understand how I explained it. So whatever the case may be, now that they're doing it by how many hours you work, they notice it because they're doing it by how many hours you work, because motherfuckers was cutting people hours. This is what retail does, and I'm going to explain to y'all. What retail likes to do is they like to hire mad employees and give everybody fucking 8 hours so they don't have to give them health insurance benefits. They don't have to pay motherfuckers out, because once you start working full-time, you get health insurance, you get 401k, you get all this shit that they don't want to fucking pay for. So what they do is hire tons and tons of employees and have everybody work fucking 8 hours and slave you, bitch. By the time you get your fucking check, it's only $160. That's what they used to do to sales associates, whatever the case may be. So now they're going to put a law in place for restaurant workers. It said only restaurant workers. I don't know if they'll let it leak into, just retail in general, where if you cut somebody's hours, you have to report as a company why you cut that person hours, and that shit better be good motherfucking quality, bitch. Like, they not fucking around. Like, they saying, like, y'all can't just be giving motherfuckers 4 hours a week without reason, because we need their ass to go back to work type shit. So it's getting scary out here, or whatever the case may be. And basically, people's hours was getting cut. People are not making as much money as they used to, but prices are going up, 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 and up. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything is just shooting up to the fucking sky, but motherfuckers is not working. Just the other day. So, I had to record earlier than usual because I am going to Minneapolis, mad random. My cousin, I don't want to tell her business. She probably don't give a fuck. But my cousin knows somebody with an apartment out there. So she just want to go there to get some rest and relaxation. So I said, I'm going to come for a week. She's staying out there for a month. So I'm coming one of the weeks. And that week will be this week, because it's Monday. I'll be leaving actually Saturday. So I had to film early or whatever the case may be. So Minneapolis, shout outs if you listen to the podcast, you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hey girl. Hey, hi. I don't know. Have I ever had Minneapolis listeners or Minnesota? Probably. Or whatever the case may be. But hello, good morning. And I will be in your city this week. Or whatever the case may be. But I love y'all to death. If you watch, anybody who watch, I don't care where you from, I fuck with y'all. But Minneapolis is not a flight that's usually expensive. Like, at all. Like, back in the day, you could probably catch a flight to Minneapolis with JetBlue, maybe $54 one way. Round trip, you go there for like $100, $160, or whatever the case may be. Guess how much I paid for this flight? And anybody who knows me knows when it comes to flights, I don't fuck around. Like, I'm the type of person, I will literally, once I establish, okay, I'm going to Minneapolis. My cousin told me she was going to Minneapolis a month before she was going or whatever. So I already knew I was coming for the week for a month. So I was checking every day. I check air flight prices. I check airline prices every day when I'm going to vacation somewhere so that I could get the best price possible. I was checking every day, y'all, bitch. Guess how much this damn flight was? Round trip. $476 to Minneapolis, from New York City to Minnie motherfucking Annapolis. Okay? I love y'all, Minneapolis. I love every state, as long as you listen. But Minneapolis is not that girl for a $500 ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, back then, if you got a $500 round trip ticket, you was going to maybe Jamaica, Bahamas. Like, you was going somewhere out the country. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was really given. It was serving the girls. Like, for me to be paying $500 to go to Minneapolis is a bit much. But that's what's going on right now. That's really what's happening right now. And there's no way to run away from it. And I just wanted a vacation. And even if it doesn't matter where I go, I'm probably going to have to pay around those prices now to just travel domestically or whatever. And I can't even imagine how much it costs to travel internationally. I heard that the prices are crazy. So basically, I'm paying $474 just to go to freaking Minneapolis. And we act like we didn't know these things was about to happen. Like, bitch, this shit was finna happen. Like, they're coming to collect. Just the same way we lost money as people, these companies lost mad money. They said traveling went up 164% from last year, obviously, because 2020 was when the pandemic started. But also, 164% is really good. And since it's up that much, they are bringing the prices up so that they can get all the money that they lost back. And it's just crazy. It's like, damn, do I want to fucking travel? If you travel, you better save. You better collect your coin. Okay? Like, but they said Americans are looking to travel. Traveling is up 164%, especially now. It's so much shit that is so different. Uber. I think I was telling y'all this too, way before we started reaching normalcy. Ubers is $40 everywhere you go, bitch. You can go up the block to Uber $40. They said these Uber prices, these fees, is just too much. They said the Airbnb is up. Everything is up. Anything. I'm a little annoyed with Uber though and Lyft because Uber and Lyft was getting money during the pandemic. Everybody was taking Ubers and Lyfts. People were scared to get on public transportation. So what the fuck are you collecting? Like, realistically. Like, everybody was taking Ubers and Lyfts to work. Wherever they need to go. People still taking Ubers and Lyfts to work. Even though things is coming to normal. People still don't feel comfortable getting on public transportation. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just being money hungry. But I heard that they was always giving us cheap rides, allegedly, and that they need to collect before the pandemic, bitch. But it's just really unfortunate that we're kind of like, America is in like this weird space where everybody needs to collect. Like, we all need our money back. We all need money. Like, it's people who lost their job. They need money. They just got back to work. It's the supermarket needs their job. The company, needs their job, needs their money. The companies need their money. Everybody wants their money. New York, your state needs their money, right? They was giving y'all, they gave so much people unemployment money. They need that money back. The world's not accustomed to so much people being on unemployment or whatever. That money, they need it back. They want it. They want it back. They want y'all asses to go back to work. Now motherfuckers say they ain't going back to work. People don't want to go back to the office. It's just like, it's just so much. So we're going to talk about going back to the office or whatever the case may be. So let me tell you, it says, how is returning to the office supposed to work exactly? This is from an article on thecut.com written by Allison Green. This is under the topic Ask the Boss. How is returning to the office supposed to work exactly? So let me get to it. I don't want to go back to the office. My company is slowly but surely gearing up to go back to the office. I just cannot. Can you help me convince my boss to let me continue to work from home? Since going remote, my work has improved both in quality and quantity. Some people lying, you bitch. Some of y'all motherfucking work has definitely gotten worse in quality. Like, bitch, knock it off. But anyway, even my boss has commented on this. I finally feel like a person while working. I make coffee when I want. I'm not worried about having to leave 10 minutes early so I can pick up my kids without incurring a late pickup fee from the daycare. I'm not desperately trying to keep my eyes open around 3 p.m. when I'm exhausted and nearly falling asleep at my workstation. Now I get up and leave my desk to take a walk outside or have a snack or, yes, a nap. Then I return to work recharged and refreshed and perform much better than I was in the before times. Without a long, tiring commute, I've had time to make proper dinners for my kids. I'm a better parent and employee because so much of the BS of daily life is gone now. And because I'm well rested, how do I convince my boss to let me keep working from home? This is getting raised with employers a lot right now. So your boss isn't likely to be surprised by it. But having so many people ask for it has also made some employers more resistant to working out individual arrangements than they otherwise might have been. But plenty of people are requesting it and getting it. So you should definitely try. Point out that your productivity and work quality has gone up since you've been at home. If you have hard numbers, use them and remind your boss that she commented on the gains herself. So that's just a way to, get to, if your boss is willing to, let you have that leeway, because not a lot of these companies is giving, this shit gonna have y'all laughing. A lot of bosses are giving people that leeway. It's not even a boss, it's just the company in general. They're just not giving that leeway. So a lot of people are worried about just the comeback because how they look, being home a lot. What happened to a lot of us? We gained weight. So it says, I'm anticipating fending off comments about my weight when we return. Fuck yeah. I can imagine. I'm gonna tell y'all something too. My company is gearing up for a return to the office soon. I'm bummed for a number of reasons, but one thing making me very anxious are the inevitable weight loss compliments that I expect coworkers will make upon seeing me for the first time in over a year. I was 8 months pregnant the last time they saw me, and my body has changed significantly. The constant hum of diet culture has been impossible to avoid in all my years working there, and I just know I'm going to get comment after comment about losing the baby weight or looking good or whatever. Yeah, we shouldn't be commenting on people's bodies at work at all and acting as if thinness is always better. Is rooted in some really toxic beliefs about weight and appearance. But the office isn't the place to try to educate people about fat phobia either. You'll be opening up a conversation that generally doesn't belong there. And once it starts, the likelihood of truly offensive remarks goes way up. That doesn't mean, though, that you need to thank people who comment on your appearance. You can say something utterly neutral like, it's been a while since we've been in person, or it's good to finally see you again, or anything else that doesn't engage with the weight stuff. Can we just refuse to go back? That's the question. Some people just don't want to go back. We talked about that. Your employer can indeed require you to come back to the office no matter how good your arguments against it might be. The exception to that is if you have a medical condition that's protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act and which requires you to stay at home, in which case you can ask for continued remote work as a medical accommodation. Even then, though, depending on the details of what your health does and doesn't permit, they could counter-propose other accommodations like having you work but in a separate space. So in most cases, yes, coming back to the office can be a condition of your continued employment, meaning that if you flat out refuse, your employer can decide not to keep you on. Whether or not they will decide that is a different question, but I wouldn't be on them just throwing up their hands and say, okay, fine. Okay. Another thing too is that I noticed with a lot of companies, they're letting people come in once a week, then slowly twice a week, then 3 days a week, and then next thing you know is you're coming back to the office for the rest of the week. My thing with the office shit is like, why? Why are you fiending? Like, I feel like people and companies want people to go back to the office because they're accustomed to that. And I feel like it's a power and control thing. Like, I feel like a lot of this shit be low key, high key, deep rooted. Like, and keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. If I'm working at home, what's the need of me having a boss? Like, yeah, you could be micromanaging via email, bitch. You could give me a phone call, but you're not in my face. But I hear people still be getting mad about shit even when they work from home, but it's just like, I guess it's not the same energy, and I feel like it's really power trippy behavior. I feel like people who are higher up, they enjoy the idea of having their employees in a cage. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, stay woke, like dead ass. Like, I feel like a lot of these companies want people in the office because it makes them feel powerful. Vice versa, having to work from home. It's like, I have workers in an office building, like, and people love that. Like, even when your company starts getting big, people love having a warehouse. They love having their own office. I have an office. I have employees. I employ people. Like, it's a power thing. Like, I feel like it's more of a power thing. Why people want people to go back to work in the office space. I really feel like it's a power trippy thing. Like, people just, it's not about, because there's no real reason for some people to go back to the office. Like, if you was doing your job from home, like, some jobs are really doable at home. Granted, I have experienced some things. Like, I think I told y'all, or whatever the case may be, that I had to get my AC fixed. Like, we got the AC installed in the fucking window, plugged it in, the shit wasn't working. So I'm like, I'm not buying a new AC. I'm not returning it and getting a new one. Like, somebody need to come here and fucking construct this shit open. Because, bitch, I'm not. We're not doing that. So I called GE. GE is the people who run the AC or whatever. I called GE. I get on the phone. The girl is arguing with her boyfriend. No fucking cap. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, did I call the wrong number? I'm looking at the phone like, Okay, she's like, yeah, fuck you then. Fuck you then. I'm like, I'll stay on the phone because I'm just confused. Like, and she like, hi, can I get your name and your serial number? Like, I was like, no. So yeah, some people, like, home is not a space for them to work. Some people, especially if you like do something where you gotta be on the phone, the kids be running around, bitch. If people feel comfortable asking you to do shit just because you at home. So maybe some people might miss the office too, because it was like, I'm at work. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm at work. Like, nobody can't talk to you because you're at work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's probably a market of people who actually miss working in the office. Not everybody has a private space. Like, my house, like, y'all probably can hear the TV now. Like, my apartment is really small. Like, it's not easy to really run away from sound. Like, it's like we can hear our phone conversations. It's like no real privacy in this fucking house. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I could understand, like, I could imagine working from home and your spouse is there, your kids are there. It's like, some people probably dead ass want to go back to the office. But like I said, I feel like people asking people to go back to the office is really more of a power trippy thing. And just for people to just be on top of you and to micromanage you. And, wearing a mask, right? I know I'm not vaccinated, so I know I'm definitely not somebody who is eligible to be walking in spaces and not wearing a mask or whatever the case may be. So, but I get tempted, you know, to take down my mask. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real 100 with y'all. Like, I just be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, even I went to go get tested for COVID because I was traveling, even though it was domestic. Because JetBlue sent me an email, and I was like, because one of my cousins had ran into that issue where she was actually going to Jamaica, and it was like, oh, you're supposed to get tested for COVID, and she get tested for COVID, and I was just like, I don't know what the stipulations is, so I just decided to get it. The shit is free. Woodhull Hospital is right by my house, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll just go do it. And they said that the results come back the next day now because nobody's getting tested. So she was telling me nobody's getting tested for COVID because everybody think everything is good and gravy and shit. Another thing too was like, I feel like, okay, I heard like 40% of people are vaccinated. The last numbers I heard, is it 40% of Americans are vaccinated? I feel like that's a big number, bitch. It's failing, but it's big, huge, massive. So I just feel like, all right, some of us is vaxxed up, some of us is not. Some of the people who's not even vaxxed up probably already have the antibodies. They probably got that shit maybe 1, 2, 3 times. Like, we Gucci. Don't quote me. I'm not Dr. Fauci, bitch. I'm just saying, you know. So I get a little wary about wearing my mask, not wearing my mask. When I'm certain areas, like in Brooklyn, it's a street called Broadway. Broadway is very mixy. Sometimes the crackheads be out, the druggies be out. My mask is always up. Just in general, like, it just needs to be up. Like, it's not even about COVID no more. It's just about, like, and like, I haven't got sick in so long. Like, I was thinking about that. Like, and everybody's been talking about that. Like, I haven't got sick in so long, so I'm just like, like, when I just see energy that I'm not reading, like, it's not giving what it's supposed to give, the mask is up. When I hear coughing, when I hear breathing, sneezing, too much loud talking, the mask goes up. So the mask is always going to be a part of my life. Personally, it's something that I adore, that I love, that I appreciate. Okay, like, I feel like no matter what, it's gonna always be a part of my life. I might not always have it on, but it's gonna always be on. Like, it's gonna always go up when I just don't feel the energy. I might be walking down the block, I might see too big of a group, or I just might feel like, or maybe I feel like they looking at me funny, so I be putting on my mask. I be putting on my mask in front of white people to be funny sometimes, like, because I be feeling like they be trying to treat us like we dirty. So when I see them, I be trying to treat them like that. I be using the mask for shadiness. You know, I live around a lot of Jewish people. Shout out to Jewish people. But Jewish people, they be doing funny shit. Like, when you be walking on the block, they'll dead ass push the street when they see a black person. So sometimes when I'm around Jewish people, I be putting on my mask just to be funny. Because they don't fuck with masks. They wasn't fucking with masks when the pandemic was at its peak. So when I be seeing them, I be like, I be using the mask to be petty as fuck sometimes. Deadass. I will deadass use my mask just to be petty. I be like, I'm not feeling your energy. Mask up. Like, that's the type of shit I'm on. So, I mean, it is what it is. I still wear my mask in the supermarket. I still wear my mask in Target or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to think, like, the last time I went to the supermarket and when I went to Target, were some people not wearing a mask? I'm not sure, but I know that you don't have to. You're not required to, but some places you still go and everybody's mask is up. Like, there's places you go where everybody's mask is still up, even though the regulations have calmed down. Like, some places, like I said, the laundromat is a little more lenient. The gym, I'm surprised the gym is lenient. Sometimes I keep my mask up in there because, I don't know, my nose be itching in there, bitch. It's be the fumes of and it be people. That's the other thing with the mask, too, that I love about the mask, too. Because, you know, the gym, people be sweating, people underarms be funky. The mask. Shout out to the mask. Shout out to the mask, bitch. I just got me a mask, too, that says Brit Says on it. So, I like doing that. I got me a little water bottle that says Brit Says on it and shit. So, I don't know. It is what it is. I hope y'all enjoyed this very somewhat informative. Okay, and I just want to say, yes, I grabbed these stats, I grabbed these stuff in the articles, but as it pertains to COVID, as it pertains how you want to go back to normalcy, that's on you, you know. I mean, all this stuff is opinion, article-based. I can't tell you what to do post-pandemic. Nobody can tell you what to do post-pandemic. I hope that, you know, you guys... You know, you pick and choose your battles, do what you want to do. Post-pandemic, nothing, no answer is right or wrong right now. So it's just do you. Do what makes you feel the safest, the happiest. Whatever it is that you want to do, all I'm doing is giving you what I see, what I hear, what the streets is talking about, bitch. If you want to go back to work, you go back to work. If you don't want to go back to work, don't go back to work. Whatever you want to do, you could do. Don't include me in it. This is all just a topic of discussion. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you subscribe. Even if you're streaming, if you're listening to me, head over to youtube.com, type in Brit Says, and hit subscribe for me. If you're streaming, make sure you leave a review, leave me 5 stars, follow me on Instagram, _Britstagram, and I will see you guys